On a tranquil evening, my fiancé announced, "What you bring in is for both of us, but my income is solely mine." I immediately pushed back against her view. She countered with a threat to end our engagement, and I responded calmly, "If that's your choice, so be it." 3 months later, she came back furious, accusing me of not fighting to preserve our bond. When she begged for another chance, I resolutely declined and turned away. At 32, I've just navigated the most perplexing, manipulative, and deeply hurtful experience of my life with my now former fiancé, Lauren, who's 29. When we got engaged last year, I was convinced she was my lifelong partner. Her intelligence, charm, and modest upbringing led me to believe money would never divide us. Yet a few months after our engagement, during what should have been a simple discussion about shared finances, Lauren dropped a shocking declaration. "Your money belongs to us both, but mine is only for me," she stated. At first, I laughed, thinking it was a playful remark, but her stern demeanor confirmed her seriousness. She maintained that, as the man, I was obligated to provide, while her earnings were her private reserve. That perspective clashed with my principles. I wasn't raised to believe relationships followed such rules. I responded clearly, "If we're forging a life together, it must be a joint endeavor. My income isn't yours to claim while yours remains off limits." She stiffened at my words. She tried to shame me, saying, "If you genuinely loved me, you wouldn't challenge this." Then came her ultimatum. Accept her conditions or we were finished. I didn't shout or beg. I simply met her gaze and said, "If that's how it is, we're over." That moment ended our engagement. From there, everything unraveled into turmoil. For the next 3 months, I focused on myself, my job, my health, and reconnecting with long-lost friends. Lauren, meanwhile, went completely silent. I assumed she had moved on. Then, unexpectedly, she showed up at my door enraged. She had anticipated I'd chase her, plead for her love, and prove my commitment by yielding to her financial terms. Instead, I had stayed quiet and continued living my life. She stood in my living room, her face red with fury, shouting, "You didn't even try. What kind of man lets the woman he loves walk away like that?" I remained calm and replied, "Lauren, you didn't leave because I failed you. You left because I wouldn't bankroll your lifestyle. That's a different thing entirely." Her composure shattered. Then came the tears, not out of sorrow for losing me, but because she felt it was unjust that her friends' husbands paid for everything while I expected her to contribute. That's when I realized. She didn't love me for who I was. She loved what I could provide. I refused to reconcile. I told her, "I'm not signing up to be your lifelong financier. Find someone else." She begged, cried, and even attempted to kiss me. I stepped back and said no. But the true betrayal surfaced a week later. A friend sent me screenshots from a group chat Lauren shared with some mutual acquaintances. In it, she mocked me, claiming she nearly had me under her thumb, and that I was too naive to realize I'd lost the greatest thing I'd ever have. She even confessed our engagement was a trial, not of love, but of how much I'd sacrifice financially. That was the final strike. I sent her one last message, attaching the screenshots. "Thank you for confirming I made the right choice. Don't contact me again." Then I blocked her on every platform. 3 months prior, I thought I'd lost the woman I'd share my life with. Now, I see I dodged a catastrophe. The real betrayal wasn't her departure. It was her attempt to manipulate me into being her financial servant. I'll choose peace and dignity over that any day. Months passed after I severed contact with Lauren. Life felt serene again. No sudden texts, no unannounced visits. I was progressing, earning a promotion at work, taking short getaways, and even tentatively exploring the dating scene. Then out of nowhere, my phone buzzed with an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. "Hey, it's me," Lauren's voice came through. I stayed silent, waiting. Look, things got messy before. I wasn't myself. Stress overwhelmed me, and I didn't mean most of what I said. "Can we just talk?" she asked. "No, Lauren," I replied firmly. "We've already had our talk, and you revealed your true intentions." She let out a heavy sigh, then shifted into desperate pleading. She claimed she'd changed, that she realized money wasn't everything, that she missed the security I provided. She brought up past memories, Our vacations, our inside jokes, the time I surprised her for her birthday. For a brief moment, my determination wavered. It's hard to erase years of shared history. But then I remembered the screenshots, her ridicule, the test, and how she viewed me as a trophy to be won, not a partner to value. I'm not going back, I told her. Not now, not ever. Silence followed. Then she tried to guilt me. So you're really just going to throw away everything we had after all we've been through? She asked. Yes, I said. Because you threw it away first. I'm just not picking up the pieces. I hung up. But she didn't stop there. A week later, her sister contacted me on social media. Lauren's really struggling. She regrets everything. Don't you think she deserves another chance? 2 days after that, I ran into an old mutual friend at a bar, who casually mentioned how Lauren was a wreck and couldn't stop thinking about me. It was clear she'd enlisted others to wear me down. But once someone shows their true nature, you can't unsee it. I wasn't about to let her or anyone else deceive me into reopening a chapter I'd firmly closed. So I blocked her sister and cut off contact with that friend. I kept moving forward. Then came the moment that truly closed the door. Months later, I encountered Lauren at the grocery store. She looked different, worn, exhausted. She offered a weak smile and approached. Hey, you look good, she said. Thanks, I replied, my tone neutral. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. I know I can't change the past, but I did love you in my own way, she said, her voice cracking. For a fleeting moment, I almost saw the woman I once thought I'd marry. But then I recalled, she didn't love me in any way that mattered. I gave her a polite nod and said, I hope you find what you're looking for, Lauren, but it's not me. Then I walked away. That was the last time we ever spoke. Now I'm with someone new. Someone who doesn't treat relationships as a game or a financial deal. Someone who cherishes me, not my wallet. Sometimes late at night, I reflect on that moment on the couch when Lauren said, Your income is ours, but mine is mine. It was meant to mark the beginning of my submission. Instead, it became the moment I took back my life.